A month goes by in minutes. A month. This is the amount of time that I have at home after returning from the Sex Cells tour that immediately follows the December Underground campaign. When constantly in motion, your perception of time tends to become skewed. A week in Europe can seem like a month. A month at home can seem like a week. I'd have to think twice before deciding that today is indeed Tuesday, but I can assuredly tell you that it is November 3rd, 2007 when I first start my weekly flights to LA. During this 9-month writing process, I fly so frequently that if the airport security check were Cheers, I'd be Norm. Truly. Once I forgot my ID and they just let me saunter on through in my driving shoes. It is behind the door of room 330 in our West Hollywood hotel that the majority of this record is written. Jade and I sit for hours a day and days a week with laptops, guitars, and amps contrasting the mid-century modern decor of the room. During the daylight hours, we detail music, structures, and melodies as beyond the Warhol curtains, the pool below buzzes with bad haircuts, worse tattoos, and the rare topless sunbather begging for melanoma. Occasionally, we order up bandois or berries, but usually I've got a cachet of kombucha and strange, dry, delicious cookie bites to keep us hydrated and alert. I must say, though it may seem an imperfect place to write, it works well. At night, the words come. I scratch them down on the hotel stationery as tourists flirt drunkenly on the adjoining balcony. I pull lines from old notes or from the black air that fills the voids between the skyscrapers rising from the shadowy palms in my view of the sparkling downtown skyline. More than once, when I pause a playback of the day's writing session, I met with sex sounds coming from a neighboring room. Like a giddy preteen, I might listen for a few seconds before getting back to laying down my lines in the hand of a 5-year-old. I don't go out much. I spend most of my nights making sure that I'm getting the words right. It's important. To me, at least. Then, used to the mysterious night footsteps that scurry across the roof of my home away from home, when I finally call it a morning, I sleep well. That is, if the parties from downstairs don't make their way into room 328. If the drunkards do rob me of my sleep, it's even harder to keep up with the perfect-bodied boys at the gym the next day. But I still go. I still try. And in between, I listen to T-Rex and Talk Talk. I go to my favorite vegan spots with my favorite vegan people. I go with some of my favorite non-vegans as well. When we have enough material to warrant our convergence, the four of us meet in either a dimly lit SoCal rehearsal space or at Andros, the familiar Art of Ears studio of AFI's past. As we play, some of the songs shine and others don't. Some make my hair stand on end the very first time that I sing them with all the guys, and most of those charging tracks you now have. The others, sadly, may never be heard by anyone. Eventually, Adam and I relocate to a rental in West Hollywood wherein we fingerboard, hot tub, and entertain Nick 13 whenever he drops by to eat our treats. Every Tuesday and Friday, a parade fills our street from 11 to 6 p.m. as young models carry their books to and from the world-renowned agency on the corner. Not bad, right? It's true, I'm not making that up. Nor am I lying as I describe the sound that the rats in the walls make between the hours of 3 and 5 a.m. It's not so much the scurrying and the scratching, but their childlike cries that really creep me out. Adam watches French Bikes, and I listen to Fever Ray, The Bird and the Bee, and Antony and the Johnsons too many times for his liking, but he's nice about it. Then, the Swing House, Drums, Laurel Canyon, Southwest Sandwiches, Zoo Calls and Fred Siegel Dreams, NRG, Fear, Confusion, Melrose, Conway, Joe McGrath, who doesn't have to hit me but it's for the best, Percussion, British Accents starring Queen Latifah, The Grove with My Dears and My Dearest, Toy Night Walks, Rodeo Drive, Dedication, Delirium, Sammy, Sunset Sounds, Guitars, the Nick 13, Ben Gray, and Dan Under Dream Team, Art Shows, Apples, The Fast and the Furious Love and Life Counseling, Peters, Repetition, St. Kristen and Kung Fu Mornings, Macrobiotics, Bass, The Steakhouse, A Reticent Fuck Doll, Jeff Kresge, Revealing Myself to Wedge at Hugo's, Golden Toes, The Priss, Jackknife Lee, Plaid Wagers, Mark Webb and Musical Musings, White Lies with the Dead, Milkshakes, millions of them, Making Friends with Mr. Anthony despite inappropriate face-touching, and The Promise of a Strawberry, Tattoos, Trading Teas with Robert, Meeting Tim, Husser Presents Painters, Portraits, and Police, Illicit Videos for Unsuspecting Loves, The Return of the Wolf Child, Beautiful OC Squatters Before Pantomime Goodbyes, then Standards, Kermit the Frog, Dave Stewart, Mick Jagger and Paul Smith, Depeche Mode and 10,000 People with Camera Phones, The Throbbing Gristle Soul Shake, Little Vanilla Candles, Voss, Vocals, and finally, There is a Crash.